How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I actually wanted to make a video talking about something that I really feel like there's going to be very mixed opinions on this. I feel like you guys in the comments, and even maybe just myself or quite a lot of other people as well, are probably going to have like a 50-50 opinion on this. I could be wrong, so let me know in the comments when we get into the topic whether you agree with my side or whether you're on the other side where you may disagree with me. But we're going to get into this, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it, and we're going to see, basically, do you think RuneScape 3 is pay to win? So, that is what we're going to be talking about today. So, the background footage will be fairly relevant. Every now and again, I'll bring some stuff up that you'll be able to look at on screen that I'll be talking about, probably, and then other times it'll probably just be some gameplay to sort of fill in the gaps. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy. If you do, you know where that like button is. Make sure to press it. In fact, just get it pressed now. You'll help me out a hell of a lot. You guys probably don't realize how good it does help me out. Also, do leave a comment and do subscribe to the channel if you are new. One last little thing to, just put a little bit of a plug in here. I am streaming on Twitch now rather than on YouTube, so do go and follow me at Twitch. There's a link in the description. So if you are missing the streams and you are wondering where I went, I am over on Twitch, so do go and follow me there. Anyway, that is absolutely enough for the intro. Let's get started. Okay, so I suppose we should probably start with, what is pay to win? What is the definition of pay to win? Well, it's probably different for a lot of people watching. Personally, I would define pay to win as being able to pay your way to an advantage over somebody else, or being able to pay to be able to reach and complete the end game with nothing else. So basically, you would be able to buy your way to the completion screen of a specific game or something like that. So what I mean by an advantage is if you were in PvP, for example, if you could buy yourself extra power by maybe being able to buy yourself extra weapons, or maybe even imagine if you could buy yourself an extra 50 levels in strength, and you could only do this if you paid real money. It was capped at 99 normally, but if you went out and paid $50, you could get yourself an extra 50 levels in strength for 5 hours or something like that. That would be pay to win. That would be insane pay to win, actually. That's probably a really powerful example, but that would be my definition of pay to win. Being able to pay for something that basically just gives you a straight up direct advantage to anybody else, or basically just pay to get yourself absolutely everything in the entire game and really not need to work for anything whatsoever. Let me know in the comments what you think pay to win means. I'd be very interested to see what everyone's thoughts on this is, actually. The next thing I want to talk about is, what does RuneScape 3 offer that could actually be considered pay to win? Now, everyone sort of talks about how MTX heavy RuneScape 3 is. Now, for you guys that don't know, MTX is microtransactions, and basically there is a lot of microtransactions in this game. A lot of them are just cosmetic, it does not matter, purely just for looks and making your character look individual from somebody else. Those ones are absolutely fine, not an issue. However, is there some MTX things that makes the game completely unfair? And basically, can you just buy yourself power? Well, yes. So technically, you could argue that if you had an unlimited cash supply in real life, then you could technically have an unlimited cash supply in the game as well, because you can buy bonds from JGEX and then sell those on the Grand Exchange. Now, usually I would condemn a game to death because of that. That would be like purely ridiculous. You can buy gold from the freaking developers. Well, that's pay to win. That's the end of it. That's GG. That's done. Frick this game. Absolutely pay to win. Pointless. But RuneScape 3 is slightly different, and I will talk about why once we cover the rest of the stuff that you can get through MTX in this game. Other than buying gold directly from JGEX through form of bonds, there is also the Treasure Hunter. Now, Treasure Hunter is basically you buy keys from JGEX or you unlock them in the game, but we're talking about pay to win, so let's just say you could buy keys from JGEX, as many keys as you want. I believe there is a cap, but that's not very little, like you can buy a lot of keys before there is a cap. But you could basically throw those at the Treasure Hunter and you'll be given things like experience as rewards. Now, this all just sounds absolutely terrible, doesn't it? The fact that you can buy experience, you can buy gold. What's the point in playing? At this point, really, what's the point in playing? This is the thing. In any other game, this game would be condemned to death. No one would want to play it. Everyone would say this is an absolute mess. You can basically buy yourself all the items in the game. You could then spend a lot more money on leveling up your character to be able to use those items, and you could technically just be done with the game. You are absolutely at the best point. You spent thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars on the game, but you're there. You can definitely do that. You can do that. No one's arguing you can 100% do that. Now, it wouldn't be efficient. It absolutely would not be efficient, but we're just talking in the fact that you can do it. So why does RuneScape 3 get away with it? Why are people still playing? And why is the MTX talk really not as bad as you would expect? Like I said, if this was in any other game, there would be a massive uproar, people would be kicking off left, right and centre, and the devs would never hear the end of it. Now, not saying that we don't complain, we definitely complain about MTX. Every time Jagex added something that we're like, I don't know about that one, everyone always makes a fuss, but at the end of the day, it dies down, it's not the end of the world, and it doesn't ruin the game. Why? Why does it get away with it? What is different in RuneScape 3? Well, personally, I think the reason that RuneScape 3 gets away with it is it's not pay to win. I don't think RuneScape 3 is overall pay to win. Yes, you can definitely pay to get yourself ahead. You can definitely pay to get all this stuff like I just said, but there's a reason that it's not. And that reason is RuneScape 3 really doesn't play like an MMO. And that, just let that sink in, just for a minute, just let that sink in. That sounds absolutely crazy, but technically, you don't really care if the next person that you walk into has 50 billion gold all bought from Jagex. You literally, it doesn't affect you in any way whatsoever. Now, the only time this would be different and would affect you is if maybe a new skill came out and you were racing someone else to get to position 1 and be the first person to get that skill to the max experience, 200 mil, and maybe they've put in like $20,000 into the game to make sure they can get there first. However, Jagex are really, really good at avoiding this from happening by making sure that bonus experience, making sure experience lamps, all that stuff cannot be used on the new skills and that sort of thing when it does come out. They make sure that the pay to win on that side cannot affect it. When they did archaeology recently, they made sure that any experience for like a year almost, I believe it was, could not go into archaeology. You couldn't do it. You couldn't go on and spend loads of money, get experience lamps and dump it all into archaeology. You had to go and do the skill just like everybody else. So that's brilliant. But what I was talking about before when I said it doesn't play like an MMO is it genuinely does not matter to you personally most of the time if the next person that you bump into has all that money that they've bought. It doesn't affect your gameplay. The way people play RuneScape 3 is they will focus on doing their own goals. You will set goals for yourself, you will work towards the end game for yourself, and in all honesty, most of the time, the end game is what you make it. For example, at the moment, for me, my end game is preparing for God Wars Dungeon 3. A lot of you guys are following along with that series, and you know that I am working on upgrading all my gear, getting ready for the next set of bosses to come out so I can go there and maybe even try and beat them on day 1. That is my end game at the moment. But once I reach that, I will probably set myself new goals. Now, if someone else, even if you went out and bought 50 billion in gold and bought all these items, started on a brand new account, bought up all the experience lamps that you can and maxed out in 30 minutes, it literally wouldn't affect my end game. It wouldn't affect anything to do with me at all. So it plays kind of like a single player game, but there's other people online playing their own single player game as well. And sometimes you'll need those people to join in with you and help you defeat a boss here and there. But really, it doesn't matter what other people are doing to your game itself. And to me, this is what makes RuneScape 3 not pay to win, while there is every single pay to win aspect in an MMO in this game. This is how they get away with it. Because if someone else goes out and buys a full set of freaking best in slot gear with their credit card, it doesn't make a difference to you. Basically, your goals aren't affected by what other people are doing. The only time it would be, like I say, is if you're racing to an achievement. However, Jagex are really, really good at controlling that when they do release it, and the race to new content usually isn't affected by that. Of course, if you put more money into a goal when it does release, for example with archaeology, when they released that, people bought all of their materials off of other players rather than gathering them themselves and working towards it that way. However, the game's in such a position after all these years where whether people bought bonds to make money for that or not, it really didn't matter, because there were the people that got there first, the people who were racing for that goal, already have so much money in their bank that it actually doesn't make a difference. The same people are going to get there whether they invest money into bonds or not. So it is a really, really weird situation, as like I said, RuneScape 3 has literally every single aspect of pay to win in it that you could probably imagine. However, it just doesn't affect the individual player enough for them to be bothered. It literally just doesn't. Obviously, it's irritating when we see more pay to win come into the game, we see more MTXs being forced down our throats, and we all just want Jagex to stop doing it, but again, they can keep doing it, they can get away with it, because after a week it dies down, people get over it, people accept it because they realize, you know what, that's not actually affecting me that much. I made a big kick up and a big fuss about it, but to be honest, I've not even thought about it since last Monday. So this is basically how they get away with that. So I wanted to make this video just to talk about that, because I find it very, very interesting that they've got such amount of pay to win in their game, yet the game really isn't really considered pay to win. It is, but it's not. So guys, this is where you guys come in. Get in the comments, share your thoughts. What do you think about this? How do you think about accepting this? Do you think it is absolutely fine? Do you think they're going to just keep going? Do you think maybe one day Jagex is going to cross the line and it'll be absolutely full on pay to win fest and it's all just going to get completely out of hand? Or do you think Jagex handle it quite well and they're quite clever about how they release their MTX into the game? Let me know in the comments. Very, very interested to hear your thoughts on this video, guys. I am literally, this has been on my mind for a while. I wanted to make a video on it for a while. I don't know why I forgot. I literally just found a note written away on my phone and thought, oh yeah, I need to do a video on that. So I thought I would. Anyway, so my final opinion is that RuneScape 3 is not pay to win, but at the same time, it is pay to win. It really just depends on, one, your definition of it, and two, it doesn't affect you. It really doesn't affect you all that much. It's absolutely crazy. Like, I don't buy stuff in games. I pay for my membership with bonds even. Like, I just don't see the point in ever using any money on the game itself when I can do everything self-sufficient in the game. However, at the same time, if someone was to go ahead and buy all of their bonds and do everything just through their credit card, it doesn't affect me at all, so it really doesn't feel like pay to win. But that is basically my final opinion on this, and I really hope that you guys found this video interesting. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget, I am very interested in hearing your opinion, and I always reply to pretty much every single comment, so yeah, get involved. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here because it's pretty much just been a long, big rant of me talking about this, and I hope that you have enjoyed it all the same. If you have, then leave a like on the video, and also do subscribe if you are new, because there'll be a lot more stuff like this coming in the near future, probably. I say that all the time. There is, though. There will be. Absolutely, there will be. Anyway, I hope you all have a good Easter weekend, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.